And action. We are live but not recording. Just give me a sec. Okay, almost ready. I think I am ready. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hello, and welcome to the Non-Intuitive Beat Podcast episode number whatever, and brought to you by the Leaders Club that you are part to if you're listening to us, but do consider elevating your club membership by joining our Discord channel. Jeez, I need to actually open the Discord to make sure that we know if anyone actually writing to us. And today in this virtual studio we have Dmitry Mananikov. Say hi to everyone.
Hi everyone.
And this annoying voice that you're hearing right now in the very this moment is Slava Kovalevsky. I'm trying to find, where is it? Yeah, I am in our general channel. You know, this is actually the most common question all the time. People asking me how to pronounce your name. It's like a very common thing. People on the channel would be on the call would be, okay, we have Mike, we have Bob, and we have the who is that? It is Slava. Oh, Slava, yes. Okay, that's yeah. But I have developed this, preconditioned chit-chat joke. I'm saying that my name is unique and my parents has a very weird sense of humor. so that's why they name me this way. And everyone always laughing.
You should also tell everyone that everyone named Vyacheslav is your brother.
Okay. Yes, I will use that. So one quick thing while I remember, because I actually forgot to add it to official topics, and I just opened the tab on it. Next to my home, maybe 1 hour drive. I actually took a motorcycle drive there quite some time ago. So roughly 1 hour drive from my place. Turns out there is a special area where you can drive off-road. You can take your bicycle, motorcycle, and drive off-road. This is next to Livermore, if you are from East Bay or Bay Area. And I checked that place out. It is amazing. Like it's a heaven for the motorcycle.
Did you ride there?
No, I have not, because I have an Indian Scout, and like Indian Scout cannot drive even on any road without asphalt. It cannot ride. Okay. Even the parking slot, like they have a time to time proper road, but the parking would be without the asphalt. It would be a grave road or something. Yeah. I cannot properly even drive there. I literally have to put my legs to the ground because it's so slippery that the wheels are so horrible. It's anyway. I have a dream, at one point I want to have adventure bike. I actually have a dream of Harley Davidson Pan America. That's my dream bike. I really want to update to this one, and one day we'll do it. I don't know when, but one day. Maybe this year, maybe next, maybe in 5 years, who knows. But after discovering how many motorcycle trails are actually available near me, I really want to try.
On the dirt bike?
No, this is like adventure bike, so you can take it to dirt.
Okay. So, but you want to try adventure bike or dirt bike?
Oh no, adventure bike, because unfortunately I have not found a place where you can you can rent the dirt bike. So this specific place you can rent this bug car. It's like 4-wheel drive, small car, when you can actually have a fun, but you cannot rent a dirt bike there. So I still have no clue if there is such a place exists near me. Overall, yes, it exists. So my really only option either to become real American, where I will buy a dirt bike, buy a Ford F-150, and will drive with Ford F-150 my dirt bike to that place, or I will find a place where I can rent the dirt bike for the day. That's not the place, so I still haven't found one.
Okay.
But I do have found several folks with Pan America or BMW driving there in the mud, but majority, more than 80%. 8 out of 10 by motorcycle was real, proper, dirty bike motorcycles over there.
Plus, I think it's really like if you fall, like these bikes, like Pan America, are very heavy, right? So you have to lift it. Could be a bit annoying in the mud.
Sure, that's true, but you know, I have the same fear when I have my Indian Scout. And to be fair, first of all, I'm that unique rider that have not dropped my motorcycle. Everyone's saying that it's impossible. The first year you will drop it at least once. Zero drops so far. And I tried to gently put it down and put it up from that position. So I really don't afraid of that anymore.
Okay, so it's not a problem for you.
But by the way, what about you, my friend? Have you dropped your bike at least once?
Oh, I had a really funny story. It was like day 3 of my riding.
Here in US or before?
No, it was in Russia. And I was riding very slowly in the city, like,
okay.
You know, like almost pedestrian. And there was 2 motorcycles cops in front of me and one cop car behind me. Not by reason, it just like happened, right? I was super nervous, and we all like, it was like a small traffic jam, right? Like we all moving like very slowly. And there was a small bump on the road, like speed bump. So
okay.
People start driving even slower. I drive over this bump, lost my like, how is it, like I lost my control and I just like fell on the side, like very slowly, very gently. Like cops stopped, like came to me, like pull it out from me, like ask what happens, like I'm okay or not. It was very embarrassing.
You know, I also have history, and both of us actually rode motorcycle before we came to US. Same for me as well. And looks like both of us have a history of interesting incident before we came to US on the motorcycle. I actually lost my 2 upper teeth when I was in Ukraine on motorcycle and have a car accident. And some drunk driver literally pushed me out on my motorcycle from the road. And first of all, I was young and stupid, so I picked up my friend, and just hear me out on this. So I have a friend, I pick up my friend, I put my friend on the back, and to be polite, I gave him my helmet. So here is an accident, drunk driver like literally pushes out, and to be fair, not exactly pushes out. So there was a drunk driver, it was true. Actually, asterisk, someone was driving so chaotically that I suppose it was a drunk driver. No one caught him or anything. So that guy literally pushed us out on the road and we ended up on the pavement. So when he or she pushed us out, I start braking as fast as I can. And nevertheless, it have not helped. The bike completely ended up on the grass while we actually end up flying. And I remember flying, ending up on my hands. So I'm get conscious. I find it open my eyes, my hands in front of me, and the asphalt maybe several inches in front of me. And I thinking, thanks God, it's only my hands that got dirty. And the friend of mine, the helmet, who is still flying, the moment later, he's landed right on the head of me and pushing my head directly to the asphalt that actually resulted in me losing my 2 teeth. Without that, I actually end up completely okay, but he landing on top of me with the helmet. So yes, that's the story.
So now you realize why it's important to have helmet with a chin protection as well.
True. If I had a helmet, overall, any helmet at that point, it would save me. But yes, that was a crazy time. I was young, and to be fair, just in my defense, I was actually riding the special motorcycle that would be adjusted. So it was full-size motorcycle that would be adjusting the size of the motor to comply with Ukrainian regulation that would allow you to drive it without a helmet. So actually, technically, was not actually doing anything wrong from the law perspective. I even had pulled up several times driving without the helmet because of that, because I legally can, but the whole motorcycle looked like a proper sized motorcycle. So it was very common for me to get pulled up by a cop, and then after some investigation, just let me go, let me be. Anyway, that's the word I was searching for. Anyway, yeah.
Now everyone just like looking in the video and trying to see like, do you still have 2 teeth missing or not?
Oh, I got replaced. They, like, if you're watching the video, these two teeth are not mine. They're artificial. So they.
You got them from some donor. Yes. Can you afraid donate your teeth in this situation? Yeah, to be polite.
yeah, from the friend that ended up landing on top of me. Yes. Luckily enough, the actual root of the teeth was not damaged. So the teeth completely got damaged. So it effectively, I don't know what the procedure calls, but they recreated the rest of the tooth on top of the root canal, and that was fine. But yeah, that was an interesting incident.
Like just side note, like stomatology and like all new technology to replace and heal teeth. I think that's, like some people have this like fantasy, like to get in the past and live in the past in a different era. Like I'm not going anywhere where there are no dentists.
One of the books is Nassim Taleb that I really, really admire, and he has this interesting investigation. He's effectively trying to analyze who is the richest person. And, if you're looking for a site, you might thinking some celebrity or politician or investor or whatever. But in reality, that you have this bias of survivorship. You're looking at the best rock star. You're looking at the best investor, best star, or so to speak. And statistically, if you want to get into the niche and get to your first million in the fastest possible way, it's a dentist. Dentists are actually millionaires. Okay, I want to start after the start that we already spent, let me check, 15 minutes. So after the 15 minutes of the podcast, I want to actually start with the GPT news. There is so many shit that have happened around the GPTs. Let me ask you, my friend, have you heard any recent news around the AI LLM model specifically?
I'm reading our podcast notes and I see about Gemini, and I did hear about Gemini. I think it's last few days I didn't read much news, and that one I read really hilarious comment on Hacker News about how Google renamed Gemini and Bard, and like how they're all Gemini but they all means different.
Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, the exactly same problem was on ChatGPT. So you have a ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a product, and then you would have a model like GPT Plus, for example, a subscription, and then you have to differentiate which model you have access to: GPT-4, GPT-4 Turbo, GPT. So Gemini, if I will try to make an analogy, Gemini used to be a model.
Okay.
And GPT have differentiation based on the version 3.5, 4, and so on. Gemini actually also have a differentiation. And the Bard, it was a ChatGPT as a product, was a Bard. But the Bard under the hood used to use something that was not Gemini. It was a previous model. Then they moved to Gemini. And the Gemini by itself have different size of the models. They have a medium size, which was available for free. And today, if you're using free Gemini product, quote unquote, you're actually getting the model that roughly corresponds to GPT 3.5. And to avoid the same confusion as ChatGPT having, Like if you're saying, I'm using ChatGPT, okay, which version of the model? There is a product in the model. So to avoid similar confusion, they actually completely remove BART as a product, and they introduce the product Gemini, which is the same name as the model behind it. I don't know if it will help or it will confuse, but whatever.
Actually, I just Googled shortly, and I think it's pronounced actually Gemini, not
Gemini. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yes, Gemini. Yes.
It's really weird.
So when they announced in the Google I/O, they promised several layers of the model. And the medium layer, like the one level below the most powerful one, was available for free in the BART.
Okay.
And now they actually finally releasing the Gemini Ultimate or Pro or whatever. I actually don't remember the exact name. This is analog of GPT-4. And they finally releasing it to the public through the API and through the UI. And you can use it if you will subscribe to it. It costs $20.
Okay.
And I actually have tried it. So I've tried it, and anyone with Gmail can try it for free for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, so I can try. Okay.
Not only that, it actually cannot be purchased without Google One. Google One is subscription for Google that gives you tons of other shit. So for $20, you're not only getting Google Gemini, you're actually getting Google One with some additional memory for Google Drive, for Gmail, and other stuff. So from that perspective, I really like how they're trying to position it. And you might hear some marketing bullshit that it has integration with Gmail, with Workspace, which is true, but the BART already had it. So it's not actually a new thing, it's just a better model that will have the exactly same thing that BART already had. And I want to say that it's actually really, really good.
No, the real question is not, is it good or bad? It's the question, is it better? Than ChatGPT 4.
Okay, when I'm saying, okay, yes, you're asking the right question, but just hear me out on this. When I'm saying good, I meant that I can ask the same shit that I'm asking GPT-4, and it will respond to me in the same way. So here is my very subjective take. It is a little bit worse than GPT-4, but because it's actually using Google instead of the Bing for many requests, it's actually a little bit better at the result product of that.
Interesting.
Because it actually have much more rich access to the source of data and much better search engine behind it. You can feel that the results are better, but you can actually feel that while the results of the search are better, the processing, which is the model, more or less on GPT-4, maybe a little worse. But just to give you a specific example, I just had the very first release of my investors newsletter, and I completely have migrated to BART, Gemini, mostly because actually ChatGPT have an outage. That's what forced me. But in the GPT-4, I actually had to use custom APIs because the search in the Bing was so horrible that I have to introduce custom actions. So when GPT wants to, for example, see who is having the earnings next week, instead of going to Bing, it would go to my action, would request the API and would get the answer because it's way more reliable than Bing.
Bing, I see.
In the Gemini, I have no such problem. I literally can ask, okay, give me three companies.
Do they have the same API as ChatGPT?
That's the thing. GPT is using Bing while this is using Google.
No, I'm saying, sorry, I'm confused. Like you use both of them through API.
Oh.
And is this API the same or similar or very different?
Unfortunately, from the API perspective, ChatGPT is much more richer. Just to give a perspective, today there is no any meaningful possibility to introduce custom action with Gemini. That's just not possible.
I see.
So there are not even that. it's actually not possible to create any analogs of a custom GPT.
No pre-prompt, nothing?
Nothing, like literally nothing. You have to effectively create your own higher level abstraction that will send a user message that will tell the Gemini act as blah and do blah. And even that was not even possible before, not because you cannot send message, you can send whatever you want. But with Gemini previous revisions, it actually has a problem of using context for more than 3 messages from the user. Like literally, if you have a dialogue where you have more than 3 messages from the user, it would start forgetting messages that you sent. Like that was a showstopper for me before. Like in the BART, that was the biggest reason why I never have switched to it. Now looks like they fixed that. Whatever that was a problem, I don't know what was the reason for that. With Gemini Ultimate, it's actually finally can be considered fixed.
Got it.
And the last but not least, it actually costs more, or it used to cost more. I don't know. In some internal self-testing, obviously they will tell you that they are better than ChatGPT 4. I can attest that in some cases it is subjectively feels like this is true. In some cases it doesn't feel like it's true. But again, very subjectively, it feels like this is a good replacement of GPT 4. But it costs you $20 per month. So here you go.
Yeah, pick one.
Pick one, yes.
It's interesting, like pretty much OpenAI just set price for all these things, right? Because when they came up with the price, no one used it. And now everyone will be gravitating towards $20.
This is true, but here is an interesting catch. If you want to use LLM in the way that does not store your data or will not use it for the future training, the price is actually $50. Because GPT only gives you that in the enterprise subscription. Enterprise subscription costs $25 per user and requires you to have minimum 2 users, like you and your wife, for example, for your household. So this means that starting price for the subscription that will guarantee to you that they will not use your data, which means this is the smallest denominator that allows you to use it at your work, is $50 per user. Sure, you're kind of giving second seat for free, but to be fair, many folks, I don't want to tell you from which work they are, but they are using this $50 subscription just for themselves. Just to make sure that they will opt into that terms of services where ChatGPT will tell you they're not using their data. I have not read Gemini terms of services. If they don't use your data and they still charge you $20, like it's a killer feature for me.
Do they? I don't know, like Google literally use your email for things, right? So why wouldn't they use chat? Because you pay for that?
Oh, so there is a difference. There is a difference between you allow them to read your mail to improve the advertisement to you and the training. Because if they train on your chat, everything that you have said to the chat theoretically can be recreated in another chat that someone from your competitor is having. So someone from theoretical competitor can say, how do they do this in AWS? And if someone from AWS actually used to have a chat where they completely tell the ChatGPT that they are from AWS and they have enough data on that, oh, here you go. Here's how AWS is doing it.
I get the idea. So it's more like, I think mine was more like Google, like historically used advertisement and your personal data to get money. And why not stop? I mean, why not do the same as OpenAI and start grabbing data from your chats to train model?
My theory. So I have 2 theories. One, because OpenAI doesn't have advertisement business. So ChatGPT can grab your data without training it and capitalize. OpenAI cannot. They can capitalize it through the advertisement. They can learn more about you and advertise to you. In this case, while they're reading your chat, they're actually not exposing your private data to anything. This is exactly the same model as happened with Gmail. Yes, they're reading your Gmail, but no one gives a shit, exactly because they're not exposing your data. They're reading your Gmail for the sake of sending you better advertisement. It's almost a win-win. And the second part, also theoretical, the second part even more theoretical than the first one, they can use AdSense to start in the future injecting you advertisement. You know, like you saying, if there is a 5 correct answer to your question, how to make your service more absorbable, and there is literally 4 or 5 answers, why not to allow providers of these answers actually compete through the advertisement which one the Gemini will pick?
Okay, I see.
Now, again, OpenAI doesn't have AdSense, so they in no position can capitalize on this. Google can.
Got it.
Speaking about GPTs, let me have a very minor self-promos of the new GPTs that I have created. And I have one that now my absolutely must for myself. Like, I don't want to sell you what I'm trying to use, and it's free actually. I don't want to sell you anything. But I have created GPT that for me now is must have. So this is a GPT. I will send the link on the post. So obviously, and I don't want to log in right now, but this is a GPT that actually take the picture of your dish that you're eating and tells you exactly how many calories it has. What is the component of the dishes, what the calories it is, and I'm a geek that counting calories for all my dishes.
Do you remember the hot dog or not from Silicon Valley TV series?
Of course, yes. Let me Google it. It was hilarious. Yes, hot dog. Or not hot dog. Yes. Why? Tell me, why you have recalled that specific app?
It depends on, like, is your... how precise it, like, do you always get like a good result, so it's like false positives, false negatives, things like this?
Oh man, it's actually have tons of the incorrect reading, but not because of them, not because of doing something stupid, because of the low quality photos that I take time to time. You actually do not know, for example, if this is a chipotle sauce or a barbecue sauce. Do you have a fried onion on top of that, or this is something else? So in some of the cases, but let me put it this way: if your dish is can be shown to a human, and the human would more or less correctly put the components of the dishes, GPT can do it 100%.
That's nice.
Yeah, this is a problem when there is so many cases when looking at the picture and asking myself, could I have guessed what is here? And the answer is no. Yeah, sure, GPT would try to guess the best way. But here is the main part. It actually doesn't matter, because what GPT would guess, very close calorie-wise. If you're a geek like me who actually counting calories, more or less you can blindly just put calorie that GPT tells you just had in your dish in your app. And sure, like instead of the baked chicken, it will have baked beef in some cases, rare cases, but like calorie-wise, it will be plus minus 10%. So far, I've been using it for quite some time, plus minus 10%. That's the norm. And by the way, my friend, are you counting calories?
I did, then stop, then start again, then stop. Now I'm in a period of not doing it. I actually probably will use your app. I found for me last time what worked really nicely is a paper. So I have like notebooks that line up specifically for meals, and I was using exactly like I was manually typing like food and give me calorie and write down, but I think with your app it could be much better for me. I'll just make a thought and write down.
To be fair, one thing that, first of all, I'm using Lose It. Lose It is an amazing app for counting calories. It's very simple, and it has a subscription model, but you can actually one-time purchase it. So that's why I also like it. And I heard about this from several friends of mine. I used to use it for more than 2 years. Then, exactly as you just mentioned, I dropped from it, and now I'm actually back at it again. I am using it again, and I even request the access to their API. They have an API, but they didn't give me the access for now. And if they will, I will actually connect my GPT to this API, so you can actually just log it in through the conversation with custom GPT. But yeah, the whole idea that it actually using under the hood a heavy pre-prompt that actually works around the assumption that you're using the lose it, and then it just strips out the name lose it in the end.
Interesting.
Yeah, it just makes much simpler, because if so each calorie app has a different set of dishes they can put it. The simplest prompt that I have found actually tells it, assume that user just have lose it, and then assume that everything that exists in the dishes list of lose it available to user. That's just the simplest pre-prompt pipeline that I was able to build, and then just saying, okay, now assume that user might have a generic app, so don't use lose it as a name, and yada yada. And
so it means once you get API to lose it, you can actually use actions to send it there.
Exactly. Yes.
Nice.
By the way, the moment Lose It never paid to me and is a free app, you actually don't have to pay to them. And to be fair, I actually would recommend not to pay for them. The main functionality available without the paying for them. I just paid for them because I really like for the developers who are doing the stuff that I use, actually getting money. But I would highly recommend to try if you do count calories. So yes, it's really nice app. Very simple. Very, very, very simple. Anyway, since we're speaking about the calorie counting, I cannot mention Orange Theory. It's just I wanted to mention this for quite some time ago in our English language podcast, and I realized that I never mentioned this. And my friend, I know that in the city where technically you live, in the downtown, there is an Orange Theory.
Yes.
If you never have visited it, I would highly recommend, because one lesson is free there. You can just take it for free.
Okay, so I can try.
Yes, you can just try it for free. Because they're trying to create an feel of the club, and they creating a very special different lessons. The main idea not to try during the period when they're trying to have a special lesson, so to speak, that more for people who are been here for a year or so, and they they want something unusual, so to speak. That's the worst time to try. And the Orange Theory, just to give you a perspective of for our listeners, what is Orange Theory? This is effectively a very unique fitness club. It's like a gym, but there is two things there. First of all, you cannot just come to it as a gym. You only have classes. Only classes, nothing more. Only classes. That's the whole idea. Classes very close to a CrossFit. You have all types. You have rowing, running, weights, gymnastics, everything in one. And the main part, why it's called Orange, you're actually having a heart monitor. And the whole idea that in usual class, you go, you do your exercise, you're trying to either feel your body, or you're trying to do particular amount of exercises. Here, you have your heart monitor, you have the whole big display in the middle of the room that shows your heart rate right now. If you're on the running track, you will have a screen in front of you that will show exactly your heart rate right now. And the fitness coach will tell you in which mode you need to be. Normal or push or all out. And this actually refers to your current heart rate. It doesn't refer to speed or to amount of exercise or anything. It refers to your heartbeat. So if it tells you push, you have to move your heartbeat to the orange zone, which corresponds to a particular heartbeat level. And this actually self-adjusts. So if your body is feel weak on that specific day, your orange zone will be with a way lower heartbeat than usual, and vice versa. But you will be working your way out in the orange zone irrespective of how your body feels. So it's effectively trying to incorporate how you feel in that specific date. This is an amazing. Yeah, sorry.
How does it know how you feel that day?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It only takes your heartbeat. So if you're actually exhausted or you just ate, your heart will start pounding much faster if you're doing the lower level exercise.
So Apple Watch now has this feature with zones, which also uses heartbeat for the things. Is it the same?
Exactly, yes. This is a very, very same thing. So if you actually will build a program around the stuff that you're saying, okay, for 10 minutes I will be an orange zone, for 2 minutes I will be a red zone, for 20 minutes I will be green zone, you will get exactly same mode. These guys have been doing this program for years. It's so much better and insane of how the program actually adjusted. But overall, yes, this is the whole idea. Instead of saying, okay, now you should run with a speed 6 miles per hour, so 7 miles per hour, so 5 miles per hour, they would say now you have to run with a speed that will put your heart in the orange zone. And on some days, for you, it might be 6 miles per hour, so some it might be 5 miles per hour. And for me, this was always a problem. If I will keep the speed, time to time, I actually would be struggle to get to that speed.
Okay.
This would ruin the whole exercise, because if I'm trying to get to the speed, actually over-exercising a day because maybe I over-ate on the lunch, maybe my body feels weak in that specific date. On some days I would under-exercise because I actually do not know that my heart is not pumping enough and I'm not trying to push it, and it's really hard.
But have you tried to use Apple Watch for that one? I mean, I know you have a running treadmill at home or just running outside.
I tried.
Does it work?
That's true, but you still have to have a program. So yeah, the fact that they give you're now in the orange zone or red one or green one, and to be fair, because this is so simple concept that Apple actually start using it, because these guys have been using it for at least 7 years before Apple even starting using that. So it's so simple so simple way. The moment you try it, there is no way back. But I'm pretty sure the Apple will pick it up. But the thing is that showing you the zone is not enough. You have to have a program. And I imagine in a year or two from now, the coach from Apple will be telling you, now you have to get to orange zone. But they don't do it now. They're still teaching you in the old way. Now you have to run particular amount and... True, you actually don't know what to do. Is it orange zone or red zone or green zone? Like, what do you expect from me?
Got it. Okay, so I probably will try once. We'll see.
Yeah, we highly recommend, at least trying it. And the second part, they trying to create this two actual addition, I think, that now unrelated to fitness program, completely unrelated. One, they're trying to create a McDonald's-like feeling. So if you're traveling,
what does you mean like the similar everywhere?
Exactly, yes. When I, for example, travel to Washington, Seattle, I open my Orange Theory app, I sign up for the classes, and I knew the program. The coaches are using the same vocabulary, they're telling you exactly the same, you know what to expect. Even the painting on the walls are exactly the same. So you know what to do, you know the routine. Yeah, the coach might be not the same, but you have this feeling, and I do not know about you, but if I'm traveling, I wouldn't go to a gym, and especially classes of the gym, because I literally have no clue what to expect.
I see.
Orange Theory, not a problem. You're going to Seattle, you're opening your app, you're signing up to a gym. It's exactly the same thing. You're coming up, you know what to expect. You're going with your routine.
To be honest, I don't know if I should optimize for me being in a gym in a very different place where I travel. Because usually it's not happening. Yeah.
Fair. Like, I would not pick the gym from that in the mind, but it's just something that they have created. It's also just something that they did really, really well. And the second part, they actually create a sense of community. What I mean by this, when you're coming first time, you will have the normal training, but at some point, for example, in February and March, they doing what is called, I forgot, some challenge, whatever, some challenge.
Okay.
And this challenge is effectively in two things. You're signing up and you're saying, what do you want? You want to reduce your fat or increase your muscles? And if inside your gym where you have signed up, you will be at least top 5 people who either build muscles or reduce the fat, you will get several months subscription for free.
Okay.
And during these things, they will have a kickoff event with, in some cases, concert in San Francisco. In some cases, just a community building event. They'll come in with the people who are also coming to Orange Theory. They will chat around. You will have snacks. You will have beer. You will chat with the fellow people who are coming there. So they're creating this sense of belonging, which obviously I don't know how important it is, but it's so unique to Orange Theory that I haven't heard in other gyms. Let's put it this way.
Okay, I have an idea for startup. Like create a sense of community without doing any activity.
Dormant? What? How they call it? Dormant?
Like you go there only for 2 hours per day or per week, but you like have full experience.
If you're
drinking, someone's sleeping, someone's cooking, someone is studying, like all kind of activities.
dormant houses, if you're not counting sleeping time, right, where you sleep there, you go there for only several hours per day.
Okay.
But yes. Anyway, jokes aside, I actually have a quite distant friend of mine who have this idea about the startup that would build a dormant house, and instead of selling them as a very cheap property where you live with other people, it will sell it with a high premium and will position it but the solution for loneliness problem, where you will be part of the community, and the community of people who can pay the high price for be part of that community. And yeah,
that's pretty it's like good branding, Apple style.
It's true. And to be fair, I actually honestly think there is something to it. I know a few of people that suffering from loneliness who are extremely smart, and they actually would spend way more time to the sake of the humanity if they would be part of the community where they have sense of belonging. Just because they don't have this sense of belonging, they're wasting their time on whatever, trying to finding spouse for the sake of finding spouse instead of realization that they need to have a close friend, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
This startup can help them and humanity, so to speak. Oh man. Okay, where is completely random things.
Okay.
Just because we're changing topic. I have a friend of mine very close to me. He's my flying coach. So he used to coach me to fly when I was flying, and I hopefully to restart doing so. And he has a birthday today. So Rimas, happy birthday. But when I sent to him message happy birthday and asked how he's doing, he responded to me with this Instagram video how someone have stolen a plane from my airplane club where I used to fly, then flew to the Half Moon Bay beach and actually landed the stolen plane on the beach on the Half Moon. Like what?
Okay. Maybe they can hire him as an instructor as well.
I don't know, but this is a crazy thing. So this is a video that he sent to me, someone recording on Instagram how the stolen plane from someone who have stolen it from the Palo Alto airport where I actually flying from flew to Half Moon Bay and landed on the beach. I don't know.
So did they recover plane now?
I don't know, man. This is the only thing that he have sent like maybe 1 hour ago. And the thing is, if you have not started learning how to fly, you will be surprised how easy it is to get keys to the airplane and actually to start flying. Because it doesn't matter if it's an international airport or small local airport, your tower control that actually should be managing all the flight doesn't give a shit and doesn't know if you're supposed to be flying that airplane or not. The airplane doesn't have a conventional protection scheme that usual car has on other things. Small airplane actually have a keys, but even though they have a keys, it's very simple to get access to the keys, because assumption that people usually do not know how to fly. And even if you will hire, like airplane costs the most expensive one, 1.5 million. You still cannot land it or cannot take it somewhere without owner noticing or traffic control eventually noticing where you took it. So the assumption that no one will be doing this shit, and people usually don't, but in this case they did.
This sounds like a GTA 5 like a character doing it. Maybe it is simulation of GTA game.
No, that's true actually. Yes, this is like a particular quest from GTA 5 or 6. Yes, it's crazy, just crazy. This feels like is a Citabria or Gatalona. I don't know, probably Citabria. Very small plane, 2 people max, 2 people tops. And how they took it into Half Moon Bay? Just to give for the listener perspective, Half Moon Bay is a 1 hour drive at top from the airport where they took off. So like what's they trying to do there? I don't know, but it looks cool.
Would be interesting to know what actually happened.
Yes,
it definitely doesn't look like they really tried to stall it. Maybe just like, but what other reasons? Like, I don't know, maybe there was like a drunk party, or like, I don't know, just a cool trick.
Yeah, I have no clue. But this is from ABC News, right? This is from, ABC News Bay Area. So this is from news outlet when they actually have reported the airplane stolen. And there is actually a famous story about the pilot jump off the plane for YouTube video. So there was this famous pilot, he became famous later on, who jumped off his plane pretending that he actually lost the engine, and he jumped off with a parachute and recorded everything in the video. And I think he's now in jail. I'm not entirely sure, but
for crashing plane.
Yeah, for staging the whole thing, because there was so many controversial there. He actually this is one, I think. Yeah, this is a guy. So this is a guy, this is a plane, this is a famous sharing have stop.
But my question in this case, like, what would be a charge for? Like, what would be a reason why he's in jail?
Oh,
like, I mean, unless he hit someone with this airplane, or maybe like destroy some property completely. But if like he wrecked it into, I don't know, like a specially sand place, like that he prepared, something like this.
Correct. But okay, so here is a problem. This is reckless endangerment, because you cannot guarantee that the plane will end up somewhere. So when he crashed the plane, he actually, and here is the thing, so he have rented the helicopter with his friend to pick up this airplane and put it back to the storage. And the reason that he did this, if you are a pilot, it's actually legal for you not to report for any overdue airplane that you know have disappeared. And this would be the case where the airplane disappeared and he know where he crashed. But it would be illegally to not report where you have seen it. This guy not only haven't reported it, he obviously transported back without telling FIA, which would be now a crime. And the crime because he clearly knew the places. And the reason why it's a crime, because FIA should have been granted first-hand access to the wreckage. to inspect it. Because let's assume theoretically that this is true, that this airplane actually lost the engine. FAA need to inspect it and maybe issue the safety bulletin to all airplanes of similar type that here is why it lost the engine. Here is what you need to do. So all these pre-checks are there so FAA can proactively issue that. So he violated so many FAA rules. Then he lied to FAA saying that I don't know where airplane is. When they tried to record it, turns out that he knew. He transported it back by renting a helicopter. So
I think it's very American, you know, like people. It reminds me this story about was like famous gangster who actually was in a jail for tax evasion.
Oh, Al Capone.
Al Capone, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like this is like the same, right? Like he crashed plane, but it's very hard to incriminate a lot of things to do. But then he did like illegal but safe stuff, and that's why he goes to jail.
Yep. I don't remember if he's went to jail or he had to pay tons of the money. Honestly, I don't remember that. For sure, he lost his license. Like, no question there. And he actually did it on top of some nature preserve or something like that. So there was a very safe from the people perspective to do it. He have a very little chances to kill anyone, so that was there. But again, the process is there to make sure that if something is wrong with airplane, FAA will know it and will notify all other airplane owners, and to some extent it works as it is. And I actually think this is a good thing, because if he would not be jailed or punished, this could have resulted in many other YouTubers starting doing these pranks like that.
Now they just know if they crash it deliberately, they should not move it and notify FAA.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason why he moved that because there was a very strong evidence that there was nothing wrong with the engine. That was the first thing why he didn't do it, because if you can mock it up, he probably would just do it and then told FAA. But it's really hard to mock it up in a really trustworthy way that engine suddenly cut off. Because, yeah.
You bring a duck with you and then throw it in front of plane.
Oh, yes. Okay. Sure. But then you have to do it in the way that will not be recorded on the cameras, because he's accidentally has cameras all around the airplane on top of himself and the parachute. By the way, there is another thing, since we're speaking about this, there is a famous YouTuber girl. This is her. I honestly forgot what his login, that recently, maybe months ago, have died in the air crash with her own father. And she was a famous YouTuber in a sense among the pilots, because she was recording all her flights. She was training young pilots, inspiring to fly. And this is a very common case of recklessness, where she, among the years, and the interesting part about this story, that because she was a YouTuber, you can follow her story. How slowly from learning how to fly, she became more and more reckless. And in many cases, she was flying airplane that she was not supposed to fly in the way that she was not supposed to do. And she ended up killing herself and her father in a perfectly functional airplane because she didn't know how to work with autopilot. And there was tons of the clouds. So she actually didn't know what's going on, and the autopilots performed in the way that she didn't expect, not in the wrong way, but in the way she didn't expect. And she just killed herself and the father. And the irony that, again, everything was recorded except her last flight. But even before the flight, when she bought the new airplane with new autopilot, everyone was referring how she doesn't know what she's doing. She's just clicking the buttons, expecting it to work, and here we go.
It happens, I think, with many other activities which may be dangerous when you get professional. I think like same with motorcycle, like some people just get in a situation like very close and they realize, okay, this is fucking dangerous. I should drive differently. And other people we see on YouTube, they crash all the time. I guess it's like, I think like in snowboarding I had the moment like, what the fuck I'm doing? I should just like go walk from this place instead of riding down.
Really? And did you walk?
No, but I was very slow. It was in Alps, and it was like a lot of rocks. And I'm like, oh, I'll just go like around. And I'm like, okay, probably not a good idea. So I found another route and like very, very slowly try to get down.
Alps mountains. So okay. At least you played it. You played it smart. You find the slower place to go down with this. I actually have one. I know we're almost out of time, but we have last 5 minutes, and I have a friend of mine, a listener of our podcast, who actually shared this topic. And I just wanted to play it today. So the topic is very simple and sweet and nice. So someone came to authorized dealership of the Samsung with a TV set that supposedly be broken.
Okay.
And the fully authorized official Samsung dealership asked this guy customer to do something, like go outside and do something. I honestly don't remember what was that. And while that was happening, the official authorized Samsung technician took the knife, damaged the TV, and then when the guy came in, he said, okay, your TV is damaged, so it will not be covered by warranty. And because this is official Samsung dealership, and because of the shit that the guy have did, there is an assumption that Samsung have a semi-official instruction to reject the warranty in any possible way. And this was just the case that got caught on camera, so to speak. It's a huge lawsuit that brewing right now, and
what is a lawsuit would be? Like, is this guy against Samsung or everyone against Samsung?
I don't know that part. I don't know. I wish I have more time to prepare this, and maybe it's all bullshit and bogus. I honestly don't know. But someone for the video, and yeah,
like, it's really strange. Is it like he came to that guy's house and then just asked him to leave his house?
To be fair, this is the first time I'm watching this video. So our listener have handed it to me literally several hours, 3 hours before the podcast. I haven't watched it, but this is a narrative. So take it with a grain of salt and take it with a face value. There is tons of strange things, but I really want to read more, to read more about this. But yes, there is so many questions about this video and overall what's going on. But yeah, it is what it is. We actually at exactly 1 hour mark. My friend, yeah. Do you want to share anything to?
Nah, I think we're good. I'm a bit sleepy today.
Okay, then let's end on this note about the Samsung TV. I would not expect us ever be ending Samsung TV notes. Yes. Thank you everyone for listening to us. Have an amazing rest of the weekend, and we will talk to you same time, same place next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, recording has stopped. Just give me a second. I will see how many people watching us live. 1, and let me stop. Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you watching us, and